Super Rugby round number 4. There is just the one game on this Friday. It is the Crusaders up against the Highlanders. It's always an interesting battle between these two teams because they are our two teams based on the South Island of New Zealand. So geographically, these guys are rivals. They definitely don't want to lose to each other. Crusaders have got the better recent record, but that's not something unique to their matches against the Highlanders. They got the better record against most teams. But they have looked slightly mortal this year with a disappointing loss for them away to the Chiefs in round 2, but they certainly looked really good against the Blues last week at Eden Park. The Highlanders started pretty disappointingly with a bit of a lackluster performance against the Sharks, and then somewhat bounced back against the Brumbies. They got the result, but it was certainly tough going over there in Canberra. But still, a win is a win, so they are 1 win and 1 loss, having the bye in the first round. The Crusaders are 2 wins and a loss. But I read today, Crusaders' home winning streak is now at 32 games. So they are a very, very tough team to beat at home. Sure, it'd be extra sweet for the Highlanders to be the team that finally breaks that drought, but it is not going to be easy. It is spiced up a little bit by the fact that Mitch Hunt is playing 10 for the Highlanders this year. In some of those recent battles, you know, their games against the Crusaders Highlanders have been pretty close, and none more so than that one where Mitch Hunt a couple of years ago kicked a late drop goal to win the game for the Crusaders, to steal it from the Highlanders. But now he's playing for the other team, so he'll be looking to repeat it, but on the other way around. So, a good point for him to prove up against Richie Mo'unga, because that guy is the number one, that guy's the All Black, and Mitch Hunt was always kind of second fiddle, so he gets a chance to prove a point in this game, but still, it is going to be tough. In terms of the lineups, the Crusaders have lost Will Jordan, they've lost Ollie Jaeger, and they've lost Scott Barrett, all due to injury concussion. So they've had to make a few changes, but the lineup's still looking pretty good. Moody, Ala Alatoa are the props. Cody Taylor is your hooker. Romano and Dunshay is the second row. Cullen Grace, Tom Christie, and Tom Sanders the back row. Amanda, they looked good against the Blues last week. They just kept them under control. Bryn Hall and Mo'unga is 9 and 10. Goodhue and Eno is a very classy midfield, and then Bridge, Reese, and Havili, who is captain. They make out the back three. Ethan Roots is on the bench, and I think he's going to make his debut if he gets on. The Highlanders have made a few shifts. Michael Collins is at fullback for this one. Chris Kurandrani is on the right wing. Nareki is still there on left wing. Midfielders Rob Thompson and Josh Iwane. So Josh, he's looked alright in his games at 12. He's still, you think, a 10, but they're going to persist with him at 12, so we'll see how that works out. I would imagine the Crusaders running a bit of ball down his channel as well. Mitch Hunt and Aaron Smith are 9 and 10, or 10 and 9 in that order. Front row is Johnston, Coltman, and Tokolahi, so pretty sure that's the same as last week. Parete, Dixon, Locks, and Frizzell. Lynchus, who was really good last week, and Michele Tu'u make out the rest of the squad. So, yeah, I mean, the Crusaders might be missing a few players, but at home or away, they are tough. But home especially, 32 games, you don't get that kind of record without having something of a special team. So if the Highlanders can get it done, like I said, it would be a pretty amazing result. But they go in this one pretty heavy underdogs. Rugby Forecast algorithm has got the Highlanders losing this one by 16 points, and the bookmakers are not much different. They're saying the Crusaders are going to win it by 15. I should note the Crusaders also have an extra day's rest, having played on the Friday last week, whereas the Highlanders had to play on the Saturday, and the Highlanders have had to travel back from Australia, whereas the Crusaders have been in New Zealand. So there's not a huge difference, but it is still a slight bit of a factor. So, yeah, it's not going to be an easy one for the Highlanders, but we'll see how they go. If their trajectory is right, then maybe they are kind of on the improve and they are going to click at just the right time. Crusaders haven't won 2 in a row this season yet, if you're an optimist, but seriously, at home, they are about as tough as it comes. But yeah, should be an interesting game. There should be a bit of fireworks, because like I said, these two teams really want to beat each other. Hopefully it's a good crowd for this one. If you are in Christchurch, go out there and see the game. The weather here in Auckland is pretty damn nice, so I would imagine it's similar down there, fingers crossed. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one, and drop us a like if you enjoyed the video. Talk to you again soon. See you guys.